Everything's nice and quiet here at Willowbank Raceway at the moment, but that's all going to change in a few days when the Gulf Western Oil 51st Winternationals bursts into life. Well, we have got amazing fields in all the categories, none more so than in Pro Slammer. Now, there was a significant absentee at last year's event in that category, and of course I'm talking about Victor Bray, one of the biggest names in drag racing, and well, he was facing a few health issues. But what we've done, we're absolutely delighted to see his name on the entry list for this 51st running of the event coming up. So we went out to the Team Bray Racing headquarters to find out how Vic's been going. Vic, Gulf Western Oil Winternationals time is always the peak of the year for activity. But last year we had a Winternationals without you at the track for the first time in memory.
Well, surface day, way back in the surface days, yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a bit of a shock to me, you know. My birthday's on the 26th of May, so we had my birthday party, and a few days later I was laying on a slab having an operation that I wasn't expecting.
So what was the issue?
I've been a farmer for years and years. I keep a good eye on my skin and stuff like that. I had a bit of a sore on my face for a few weeks and ended up being a very well developed, what they call a squamous cell carcinoma. So it was a skin cancer that had gone crazy and had grown very rapidly in my right cheek and needed to come out straight away. So they let me have my 60th birthday party and then started slicing away.
So a lot of weight went on to Ben's shoulders. He led the team at the event. You were in the hospital, I think, glued to the OVO play coverage.
Yeah, I was glad for the OVO, that's for sure. I'm sitting there now. I'm still pretty sore by then too, I've got to tell you, but they keep you pretty happy with all the goodies that they stick into you. So yeah, I was watching the racing, and you know, I knew Ben was under a lot of pressure, and it looks like he did a great job there with you know, looking after the sponsors and stuff as well, the Gulf Western boys and the Century. So and I think I've really felt for him going into that last qualifier when he wasn't in the field, and you know, I know that he puts a lot of pressure on himself. So I, you know, I was pretty happy when I see him run. I think he ran a 74 or something, put himself well and solid in the field. So I was pretty happy with that, and I had all the nurses and all around me and stuff, doctors watching. They were all pretty amazed at what I did, you know, what I did for a living and stuff. So it was good.
So over the last 12 months, obviously you've had some follow-up surgery. And just getting your health back?
Yeah, it's a lot tougher than I thought it was. You know, than I thought it was going to be. Well, when I first went in there, I thought I was going in to have like a, you know, 3-inch cut and cut it out a couple of stitches and off I go. You know, I knew it was a little bit more serious than that, I suppose. But yeah, it was a very major operation. It took I think 15 hours or something on the slab. And you know, a bunch of it was a multidisciplinary operation, so it had a lot of different specialists there. I think there's about 9 or 10 different specialists during the 15-hour operation. So it was a lot more sophisticated than I thought it was. How they started telling me about it, I was actually pretty happy they told me about it after the operation. It wouldn't have been nice before, but they you know, they say they got out what they needed to get out, and they checked it all. And you know, they say I'm on the road to recovery, but it's a long, hard road, I can tell you.
You've kept a fairly low profile this season, and brought in Frankie Taylor to keep the 2-car Gulf Western team out there in Pro Slammer. Yeah. Now,
I just need to laugh.
Yeah, I was going to say, Frankie, the dynamic in the team. You've had a lot of drivers for you. You know, Troy Critchley, Alan Bowden. Mick King at one stage. You've had people drive for you, but no one like Frankie Taylor.
No, he's mad. I mean, that's his name, Madman. You know, I mean, he raced in the States. I mean, the other day we raced. I think it was a 1-week break between 2 events that we had in, one in Perth and Sydney. And Frank and his team, they went home after the Perth race and raced 7 events before they come back here. It's just crazy the amount that guy races. He's a busy guy, and we've known him for 20 or so years now, and always said one day we'll have to get you over here, but I didn't think this would be the situation under the circumstances, and I also didn't think that it'd be every single race for a whole season. So, but we had a lot of fun, and yeah, we're learning a lot too, don't get me wrong. They're smart guys, and you don't do hundreds and hundreds of runs every year for 20 or 30 years without them guys picking up a lot of stuff that we would struggle to pick up here. So they've helped us a lot as well, and yeah, having a good time.
You've been in the pits at all the races.
Yeah.
You know, keeping an eye on the tune-up, keeping an eye on the team. But it does appear that Ben's taking more and more control of tuning, etc. these days.
Yeah, Ben does. We sort of still split. I look after the fuel and that, but the fuel system nowadays, fuel systems in the cars used to be everything once, and it was locked timing. Those days are long gone. Nowadays, it's the fuel system has to be right, and it can make small changes. But with the MSD grids and the command modules, they allow us to alter the timing on the run. So it's all about the map that you put in for the timing nowadays, and that's what Ben looks after. You know, we converse on fuel. I sort of do the fuel on all the cars, and then Ben was doing his car, and then Frankie and his team were doing their car, the grid, the power grid, which is ignition time. And so all these converter cars nowadays, they get so much torque multiplication off the line, and the engine's got so much power, you've got to get rid of it. So you really rip the power out of it, where you might want to run 27, 28 degrees down track to make the maximum power. Off the start line, you're only going to want to run 10 degrees, 9 degrees, less at some tracks. Some you might get up to 15, 18. So depends how good your car's handling that. And you can see that the ETs and that have really picked up in the last year or so. And that's where it's coming from. You know, Van and all these guys are picking up how to make their cars go faster by utilising this the electronic control they have over the ignition timing nowadays.
The cars are obviously applying a lot more power to the racetrack early. I don't think I've ever seen so many cars over the centre line as I have this season, and many of them, they've gone across there because the front wheels are in the air. They just can't steer it. Yeah,
and that's chassis setup. Like, I mean, talking about the getting the ignition timing stuff right, there's also chassis setup which some people are extremely good at. So what you're doing is, as these cars go making more and more horsepower, and we're utilising more and more converters, and learning more about converters and ignition time and trying to make the cars go faster, you better follow that with chassis technology as well. And shock absorbers have been a massive thing this year, and then you get guys like Paul Moyer and Willie Stockton, all the Moitz team over here, and they've got some of the best brains in the country there, and a great driver and everything in Paul, and they understand all this stuff because Willie Stockton does it for a living. And it's showing, he's always been concentrating on the rear end of the car and how the car handles. Although I've got to say, sometimes you wonder, but you know what I mean? And it's the cars, it's the four links, it's where to set them, how to set the shockies, where to set the shockies, how to run the power grids and that in the cars. So there's a lot in it nowadays, a lot more, going to become a lot more professional over the last 2 years, definitely. And I think, once upon a time, a 570 was a rarity. And I've got a bet on for the Winternationals this year that it lumps in the 570s.
Well, 20 years ago, the Winternationals, I think we had about 12 slammers trying to fit into an 8-car field, and we all thought that was huge. We look back to that 20 years ago, you were number one qualifier at that event. A guy called
Can I remember back that far?
A guy called Peter Gratz was a bit of a burr in your side at the time.
Yeah. Good to see him back, by the way. It's great.
He's back this year.
Yeah.
But it's now 20 years ago since that final where he tore the rear end out of the car. Yeah. So when you talk suspensions, we've come a long way since then, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Them days we were playing around with swing arm cars. My car's still a swing arm car. I still like it, mainly because of the handling of the car. It's probably not as quick in the 60 foot, because going back talking about the chassis, that's where everyone's gaining the ETs nowadays, is learning how to run 60 foots. And 1.01 second 60 foot was great 18 months ago. Yeah. If you run a 1 second 60 foot nowadays, you're not going to win the race. No matter what else happens down track, someone's going to beat you. So and that's we were playing around with a lot of different stuff in them days, but that was scary. Peter Gratz scared me a couple of times. One time I was in the other lane when he caught fire, and when that diff came out of the car, that would just be absolutely horrific.
Well, I know a lot of fans right around Australia got really excited when we saw the entry list for the Gulf Western Oils Winternationals this year, and Bray was on the entry list. I know you've been working really hard to get a clearance and get back in the car.
Yep.
Do you think you're far off?
Not far off now. I've actually passed all the medical side of it, like the hearing, and they put me through a very rigorous, medical examination, obviously because I had a lot of, serious surgeries, and so the hearing was okay, the eyesight was okay, and physically, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I've lost 110 kilos. You might pick it, I'm not sure, but this is the mini Victor Ray. But yeah, so I still have some medications that I'm required to stay on that they're investigating now whether that's okay. So just waiting to see. You know, they've got the medical, it's all been done now, it's in there, and Ben's working on the car. Flat out, 2 lines to get it all ready, and because we've got so many cars nowadays, we had to buy a few more parts and stuff and get it ready. But I'm hoping I get back out there.
Well, whether you're behind the driver's wheel or not, I know everyone's going to be rapt to have you back at the Gulf Western Oil Winternationals this week, and hope that it's some good luck for Team Bray.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. Like I say, I'm really keen to get back out there. Very tentatively nervous, getting back in the car and just see what it feels like to go and do that first burnout and let go of that button for the first time and get the car down the track. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I can make the Winternationals. The plan is still on track right now, and hopefully we can make it.
Well, thanks, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.